Hi, everyone, and welcome to another A&B Horror Movies video. I'm Aaron,
I'm Ben.
and today we're very excited to be joined by Richard John Walters. Richard, welcome.
Big thank you.
Great to be here.
We're very happy to chat with you. We're huge fans of My Bloody Valentine, especially the remake that came out in 2009. Congrats on the anniversary, by the way, 15 years this year, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's interesting how some people like the remake better than the original. It can go either way, I guess. I guess they call ours a reimagining.
A reimagining,
Whatever, it's all good.
yes. Oh, yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. So we're fans of the franchise, and we love the original and the remake just as much. And I don't know if I mentioned, you played Harry Warden in the remake. You do an amazing job as Harry Warden. I just want to show off the new mug I got recently.
Very nice.
And you also revisited the My Bloody Valentine franchise recently with your role in Valentine Bluffs, which we are fans of and very familiar with as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
film. All right, well, why don't we jump right into it then? So we do have some questions for you, and we also have some viewer questions. But before we get to the viewer questions, Ben, why don't I turn it over to you for the first question?
Hey, I'm gonna have to ask, what was it like putting on the mask? Did you go into this with by watching the original and then sort of acting the same way, or did you do it your own sort of way? If that makes sense.
I guess for me, you know, put on the mask was I mean the whole thing is a thrill for me, because my filmography is just not that big, but so obviously playing a character was a really big thrill. Now, there's the part about playing a psychopath without the mask, right? And then there's the part of putting on the mask, and yeah, I mean, putting on the mask is it was a great honor, was a great thing. I guess I feel the need to tell people that there was a stunt guy named, I think his name's Chris Carnsworth. God forgive me, but he was in a horrible motorcycle accident like about 3 or 4 years ago out in Malibu. His motorcycle slid under a truck, burnt, and so I cannot, it's his memory. So I have to tell people that quite a lot of what you see in the movie is Chris doing that work. Now I put the mask on, right before the blow up in the mine. And I have to say that 90% of what you see probably is Chris, in the mask. Although, they did, in my own defense, they did give him shoulder pads and lifts on his boots and all that shit to make it bigger. But, whatever.
To make him look like you. Yes, but I mean, that's an awesome shout out to him. But of course, I guess I'd like to say that you're sort of the face in the beginning because you're the first person we see in the intro, that cool sort of like newspaper montage that they do.
Yeah. Right.
And I do have some specific questions, but I just wanted to say that intro with you in the hospital when you wake up and then you're sitting in the shadows, very well done. It's such a creepy moment. And then to see the after effect of the hospital with sort of like the carnage. And actually, were you involved with any of the carnage, like that setup in the hospital afterward, or did you only see it in the final product of the film?
Yeah. You're right. I mean, I really only saw that when in the film. Right. I didn't they sort of get you in and get you out of there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what I was thinking, but then I suspected that there were a lot of folks involved setting up all those dead bodies and blood and gore that you see in the hospital. But
Yeah,
when you're watching it, you attribute it to you. So I guess
yeah,
congratulations.
yeah. Very good.
So my first question is, tell us a little bit about the casting process. So you mentioned that this was your biggest role. How did you land the role in the film?
Um, I had moved to Los Angeles from like 2001 to 2006.
Okay.
And then and then I came back to Pittsburgh. Um, they were casting for the movie. And what they do, Screen Actors Guild, now anyways, it's SAG-AFTRA, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I still believe they do this. They have what's called local hires. Part of their union contract is to hire local people for local roles, and they sort of get around that a lot. But in my category, it's actually called an under five role, under five lines, and I guess that's not a whole lot to brag about. but anyways,
But you did nail those lines, I will say.
yeah, apparently I nailed those lines, and it was cool because um, things have changed so much. Back then, they sort of bring in based upon a photograph, but now you do these auditions, with the tape or whatever. You gotta video yourself. But
Mhm.
but it was cool for me because they brought me in, and then my audition was in front of Patrick Lucier, the director.
Mhm.
So that's it's getting the job is like getting past the membrane of agents and casting agents and blah blah blah. And when you get a chance to get in front of a director,
Mhm.
that's when you can win the audition. So that's yeah. So I won the
That's
audition
what
that way.
happened. Awesome.
Yeah, I was a local affirmative action hire for Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania,
In the
and
place at
that's how
the
I
right
got the
place
role.
at the
Yeah,
right time, sounds like.
yeah, really,
Yeah,
truthfully, yeah.
cool.
Cool. Um, so you mentioned obviously it was a small role, but how long was you actually on set for? Was it a few days or a
It
week
was
or?
actually it sort of got stretched out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in total a couple weeks because you know we were at the mine and then we did things in the mine and around the mine, and then there was over at the hospital, I guess, for a couple days, and then there was actually some stuff that I remember climbing a ladder um, that was shot at a set down in the city. Yeah, there's a city called Katanning that we did this mine shots that's north of Pittsburgh, and then there's actually in the city, and we call this part of town Wilkinsburg, where the hospital was at,
Mhm.
and then down in what's called the Strip District, there was a set down there, and I remember doing a couple days on that. So 2 weeks, honestly, 2 weeks tops, I guess, maybe something like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned working in a mine. Was it filmed in an actual mine? And if so, what was that like going down
Yeah,
into the
it
mine?
was it was a mine that was set up for tourists in Katanning, and so it was a real mine with real not really low ceilings, but they were low, depending how tall you are. And I'm not claustrophobic, but
That was my
it's
next
enclosed.
question. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
claustrophobic. Yeah, it didn't really it didn't bother me too much. I mean, it's just such a thrill to get a role like that. I was very enthusiastic about it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So there
I've
was
mhm.
yeah.
I have a fun question. Did you have to practice wielding and throwing a pickaxe for the part? Or was that all CGI handled?
Yeah, yeah. I
Some
mean,
of
a
it,
lot
some of
of
it.
that is obvious. Now, did I have to practice? No. You know, I trying to remember what the prop felt like. Yeah, I guess it was a real pickaxe. You know, so um,
Safety
and I
first.
guess I didn't, you know, I guess I didn't really, yeah, I didn't really, you know,
Not like axe throwing or anything like that.
no axe throwing, no axe throwing in the mine.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah.
Ben, I snuck in two questions there, so over to you.
That's cool. I just I want to ask, what was your thoughts with the whole it being 3D? Because obviously there'd been films, there'd been a Friday the 13th, there'd been a Jaws 3D, even a Nightmare on Elm Street, and they sort of seemed to um, not take off as good as what people will expect. So, what was your thoughts? The whole 3D event.
Yeah. I mean, like I keep on repeating myself like, you know, a parrot or something. But yeah, it was such a thrill to be in the movie. And then to know that it was 3D was, you know, more exciting. And the only, I just remember on set scenes where my father actually was a optical engineer, and so I guess I should know more about this. But he designed telescopes. But there was this huge light green machine that somehow processed the film we were using. So you know it. You know, as far as like doing your lines and acting and stuff, um, it really doesn't have a whole lot of effect. Um, and then it's it's to me personally, it was like, 3D, cool. It's even more people that'll go to the movie because it was like, my understanding was it was the first return of 3D,
Yeah, I was
that
just about to
happened.
say that. Yeah, it was for a long time. I remember
Yeah,
because I saw the 2009 version before I see the original, and I remember getting
Oh,
the
okay.
I brought it and I got like the 3D glasses, and I was like,
Yeah,
right.
I got some right here.
yeah, back in the day of looking through the comics and stuff we used to get, and I thought it was pretty cool. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, on
It,
that sense, I thought it was
yeah. It
awesome.
was it was
and
it's cool to be part of it. Yeah, just be
on
part of that
and
big
yeah,
wave.
absolutely. And I think it was the first 3D, at least the new 3D, right? That they have in the theaters now
Right, that's
without the
right. Everything, I think everything prior to that was like the red side and green
yeah,
side.
these right here, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you got for the
Yeah,
home.
that's what
I guess.
everybody is.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Because
Yeah,
the movie itself comes with four of these. Uh and I was actually watching it a few years ago at a friend's house, and there were three guys were in the basement. I think Ben's heard this story, and his wife walked in, and we were all sitting there with the glasses on, and
right.
she said you guys are a bunch of dorks, and then she went upstairs. We had a good laugh about that. Um,
That's
oh
funny.
my God, I forgot what I was going to ask next. Uh, let's see. Were there any scenes that were cut? Actually, no, I'm going to backtrack. What has it been like interacting with fans? I know you've been to some conventions. Did you think that there would be such longevity of the film 15 years later? You're talking with us that people are still interested in your role and the movie.
Yeah, honestly, no. I just thought, I had gone to 3 or 4 horror conventions um, after the movie came out, and then, you know, nothing. And then my I call him my agent, Tony Rodriguez from Midnight
Mhm.
Entertainment, called
Right.
me last year, just at about this time or in January, and you know, I was surprised that anybody, wanted to see me. He brought me to a Houston horror con setup, I forget what you call that, and there was some other place, and then there's been a few since then. So I'm completely surprised and delighted to have to do horror conventions, and I'm a pretty outgoing guy, extroverted, so I like talking to people. So
Well,
yeah,
if you ever come to Massachusetts, let me know, and if you go to the UK, let Ben know.
sure,
We'll definitely swing by.
absolutely. We'll see what happens.
Well, let's see. I mentioned we do have viewer questions, but Ben, do you have one more before we
I
jump into
I
that?
always like to ask. I always like to ask this to people who's had a chance to play masked serial killers. If you was given the chance to play another iconic horror character, who would you choose?
Oh, I think one of the viewers or one of the that was one of the questions. I guess I'm just
I
gonna.
think so, but we can come back to it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. You know, Halloween, the original, has such a cool soundtrack.
Oh, one of the best.
For me,
Yes.
for me to be part of Halloween, I think would be cool. Just with that mask and then the cool soundtrack. I guess that's what makes it attractive.
Well,
yeah,
I
cool.
hear they sold the rights. I forget who bought it, so there will be more Halloween films. So maybe
Oh wow,
be on the lookout. It might happen.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. Oh, that'd be great.
yeah. Actually, I lied. I do have one more question. Just quickly, I wanted to mention or ask, what was it like working on the Valentine Bluffs fan film? Because we think it's
Yeah,
quite awesome.
that was a couple days. I was living in New Jersey at the time, and then it was like an hour ride to the set. They called me on the phone, and you know, if you're going to call yourself an actor, then you better act in something. And it didn't take me a whole lot of thought. I said yes, and yeah, I think I think it turned out okay.
Yeah, no, it's really good. We like it too. And you
Yeah.
did a great
Yeah,
job as the
cool.
bartender. So
Yeah, thanks. It's I get killed. It's
well,
sort of interesting.
yeah, there's that.
Um, there's the I left my wallet on the set the first day, and then the second day I came back and they said, "Hey, would you do this?" And I said, "Sure." You know, and that's the part of independent filmmaking. You kind of like do things on the fly, and
Yes.
they set it up with the nail in my head and the nail gun, and we wouldn't have
Like,
got that unless I didn't lose my wallet or forget my wallet on the set.
It was
So
meant to be. It was meant to be.
yes, yes, it was
And
destiny, synchronicity, serendipity.
destiny. Yes.
It was all there.
And it was a very good death scene. So congrats again on that.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do some viewer questions. Ben, do you want to kick it off? I hope I
yep,
sent them to you.
I
Yes.
did.
Okay.
I hope they're the right ones. um, so this is from Mac from Guts and Shivers. What horror movie did you see that really shook you, made an impact on you, an impact on them?
I guess as a kid, or that's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I have like a two-part answer or something.
Go for it.
There was this was a show that was on television, and it was called Night Gallery, and this
Oh,
was
yeah.
on back in the '60s.
Mhm.
And I can always remember my mother yelling, "Who didn't let him go to bed? Who didn't get him to bed?" Because I was crying, and I think the show was it was Night Gallery, and the episode was The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I was just so flustered, and I remember hanging off my stink in the bathroom saying, "Oh God, don't let me die. Please don't let me die." I was so afraid, man. So I was like, really, I think I was
That's
5 years
awesome.
old when that happened.
Have you
Yeah,
watched
for
it
sure.
since? Have you rewatched it since? It'd be interesting to see.
I don't, I may have, um, but yeah, I don't see, there doesn't seem to be too many night gallery
Yeah,
repeats around me.
for sure.
But no, I really haven't watched it since. But maybe I will when I get a chance. And then the other part was recently I saw that sci-fi film, and I saw like a YouTube of this the other day,
Mhm.
Annihilation, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I remember that movie
Mhm.
um, where that changes everything, or it, anyway, that monster or animal that was part bear
Yeah.
and part whatever, it
Got
would
a copy
mimic
right here.
the human voices that it had killed prior to killing them. And that
Yeah.
was just so scary in the
Yes,
movie.
yes, yeah, very well
Sitting
done.
there in the theater, I was just, that scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
makes
sure.
sense. Makes sense to me. Good film too.
Yeah,
The book's
yeah,
good as
it
well.
was.
I read the book ahead of the movie, which I usually don't do, but in this case I did.
Oh,
Uh,
cool.
let's see. Awesome choices. So back to me. This is Brian from Super Manga Boy. What was your favorite scene to film in My Bloody Valentine?
I guess I guess it was oh man, I was gonna say putting on the mask, like I yell out something and then I put on the mask and then they do something with
The fire
some
explodes.
lights. It was pretty it was fun to be down in the mine and put on the mask. So that was fun. But then the hospital scene was cool too because originally I woke up out of the bed and I'm staring at the nurse and then I begin to walk towards her and then like kill her or whatever. Now that's not all in the movie, but just getting it, being able to do that action was
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Well, like I said, when you're sitting in the shadows in the corner, sort of on the other bed, that was so effective.
Yeah.
And she kind
yeah,
of
cool.
she
That's good,
slowly
man.
looks in that direction. Yeah, nicely done.
Nice.
Cool.
That's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, 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 totally. Um,
Uh, this is from Anthony from Anthony's Movies Are Garbage.
I know
That's
you
got
love that one.
yeah, we love it. Was there ever a plan for a sequel? And if so, would you be willing to return in it if it happened in the future? And what was your least favorite part about making the film?
Um, I don't know whether Lionsgate ever had a plan to make a sequel. I think there were rumors going around back then, but I think Patrick Lussier actually contacted me after I put something on Instagram or Facebook and said, "Hey, that's not really true, Rich. You shouldn't put that out there." Um, so, so as it stands now, um, there's nothing really in the wind that's giving that away. I uh, I would love to be part of any remake. That's not how it always works, though. But for sure, if they ever wanted to bring Harry Warden back, I would I would love to be a part of that.
Cool.
And then I guess I guess the worst part of uh, filming My Bloody Valentine is not being in it more, not having a bigger role.
Yeah.
I guess that's the worst part, actually.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good
how
answer.
it.
Well, I mean, if it means anything, it does seem like it's you throughout the whole film. So
Thank God.
in spirit, maybe.
Yeah,
All right.
the spirit of the thing.
Good answer. Let's see, back to me. I've got Matt from Matt Loves Movies. Thank you, Matt. Thinking of the original character, what did you draw inspiration from in creating the new Harry Warden?
Really, how's that question go? Thinking of the original character? Yeah.
Yeah, and what did you draw inspiration from?
I honestly don't believe that when you're going to remake something, you should look at the old part at all. So I actually did not go up, I like the original movie. I think it's really cool. But I didn't go review it. So my idea was just to be a psychopath to, what is a psychopath psychologically, lacking empathy or as some say, having empathy, but knowing how to push people's buttons, and a character who is cold blooded. That's what cold blooded means. You just don't have any reaction. You want to be completely flat, and you don't want to. You have to be tight, and not. It's sort of that. Although they talk about soldiers with 1,000-yard stare, that's probably post-traumatic stress disorder or something like that. So I don't want to talk bad about soldiers, but
Right.
maybe the 1,000-yard stare in the horror psychopath context. So that's what I was kind of shooting for, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see how maybe spending too much time researching the original might have detracted from your take on it. So I think that approach makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
So you this is from Miguel from Darth Miguel 99. Thank
Oh
you,
yeah,
Miguel.
maybe. Yeah, he asked the same thing.
But the first question is basically the same of did
Maybe-
you watch the original
Mhm.
and get the ideas for the Harry Warden character? And is you kind of answered that, and I've kind of nicked your question with that as well. So sorry about that, Miguel. So
No,
he has got a second question. Were you a fan of the original film before getting cast in the remake? And do you remember watching the original for the first time?
oh wow. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I hate to say this. Horror movies are really not my thing, although I love The Shining. And I'm kind of a pussy. I think The Exorcist was really, really frightened the shit out of me. So when My Bloody Valentine came out, I don't think I went to see it at the theaters. I think I caught I'm not sure I caught the whole thing, but I caught part of it. But I like, it's sort of it's interesting how Canadian it is, with the accents and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, and ours is very regional in itself because it's very Pittsburgh. Tom Atkins is in it, and he's from Pittsburgh. What else? Yeah, I'm sorry. What was the question again? I lost track of thought.
Were you a fan, and do you remember the first time you saw it?
Yeah. I think it's cool because the miner is such an icon. I like it in that sense. He's a miner. I actually went to West Virginia University. There's a lot of coal miners,
Yes.
in the state or whatnot, and there's a lot of mining around here. So yeah, I just thought that was cool, and yeah, like I got to tell you, like I'm not sure I can remember the first time I saw it, but I just think it's like our franchise, I think My Bloody Valentine, the band, was named after the movie. I'm not sure about that, but
Probably.
it's cool to have like a cool alternative band
Yeah, yeah, for
named
sure.
after your franchise. Yeah, so I guess that's why I like it.
Well, I know that the 4K edition just came out recently, and I did pick that up. So looking forward to revisit it
Yeah,
closer to Valentine's Day. Let's
nice.
see. We got a few more. This is from Eli Gore. So Eli asked, "Were you able to keep any of the props or costume from the film?"
No, no.
Too bad.
They yeah, they take all that stuff. Um, I just had a story about I was in this movie, The Island. I was one of the clones in the movie The Island with oh God, what's that guy's name? And then
Oh,
but anyways, The
the big
Island.
release. Yeah, I think I. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. It was about the clones and Scarlett Johansson
Scarlett
and
Johansson. Yes, yes.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
Oh, the
Yeah, and
island.
yeah, and so I was one of the clones, and what I remember doing this when I was out in LA, and they took a whole scan of your body, a 3D scan in this machine, and
My
then
gosh.
they reproduced you based upon that. And then I remember when that movie was over, I made a bunch of phone calls to see if I could get that reproduction of me, and the answer is no. So they always keep that stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
too bad.
no
Yeah.
props. Yeah.
Would that have been strange living with yourself? In a,
What's that?
I said, would that have felt strange living with yourself?
I don't know, man. That would be kind of cool. I think having a reproduction of me sitting over in the corner. I
Yeah,
don't
just
know.
talk. Yeah, someone to talk to
Yeah.
when you get bored with the what?
Right,
Agree
making
anyway.
great conversation with my clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, hey, Ben, the next one we already asked, so maybe let's just give Stefan a shout
We
from
did.
movie.
Yeah, Stefan from Movie Devotion 77, which asked if you could play another iconic character, which I've also stolen. So big apologies, Stefan,
No worries. Yeah.
for taking your question. Shall I ask the next one?
Yeah, go for it.
This is from Chris from the Dark Lodge. How long were you able to stay in the suit before needing a break?
Yeah. Like the suit is no problem, obviously. It's just a damn jumpsuit. Um, then the hat, not so bad. So the suit and the hat, probably forever. But the mask is, sort of a pain in the ass. Um, I would think my recollection is like, sort of I don't want to ruin my chances for a remake in the future, but it's just sort of it's probably it gets annoying after like 10 or 15 minutes, I suppose. Yeah, I mean the mask, breathing out of it.
And was it hard to see out of it? Was the glass like the
Yeah,
eye
it was.
glass? Yeah.
Yeah, as I recall, it wasn't the greatest. You sort of got that. You get the
Yeah,
blocking
sure.
it this way, and then your vision sort of closed off this way. So it's a little limiting as
You can
far
kind of
as the
you
vision
can kind of
goes.
see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Cool.
sort of far apart
Yep.
the eye holes. Yeah.
All right.
So I'd say 10 or
Awesome.
15 minutes became
Was
the
enough.
man. Yeah.
All right, Ben, back to you, right? Or is it my turn?
Short
No,
term,
it's
I
my
believe.
turn. This is Lisa from ADIG Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. If Harry could speak, what would he say about his killings? I guess this is totally up to you if you can give Harry Warden his voice. starting right now.
I would say Tom Hanniger caused this accident, and somebody's got to pay for it. I think he would say that.
Yeah, nicely done. I
Yeah.
love it. Thank you, Lisa. That's a great question. You nailed it. Let's see. We've got four more, I think.
I just want to say that's the first time anyone's heard Harry Warden talk as well. So it was the first on A&B horror movies.
I was just going to say that.
Nice.
See if I can do the thumbs up.
Cool.
There it is.
I still haven't switched it on, so you're gonna have to carry this. Where are we now?
Dylan.
That was Lisa's.
Yep. No, Dylan had
Dylan
kind of a funny question. Yeah.
How many times was Dean Winchester brought up on set?
I don't remember anybody cracking jokes about Jensen Ackles. He's the star.
Yes.
And he was a great guy, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy. And me, I just knew that he was the guy from Supernatural. That's all I knew him by. Oh, that's the guy from Supernatural.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And if anybody would have said Dean Winchester, I personally probably wouldn't have recognized that reference. But I don't think anybody. I don't remember anybody jerking him off about Dean Winchester.
Yeah, I could see that, right? 2009, how long had Supernatural been on?
I'm glad I
didn't know.
I'm glad you just said it was like something to do with Supernatural, because I was like, who's Dean Winchester? I've never watched Supernatural.
I watched it for a number of years. All right, moving on. I thought that was funny. Back to me. Anthony from Anthony Mock 402. What is your favorite horror movie? I know you said you don't like horror too much, but what would you pick as your favorite horror movie?
I get, The Shining. I love Stanley Kubrick, and I love The Shining. And Jack Nicholson. It's just the best. It's I think it's sort of in a class by its own. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I lied. We got three more, but Ben, maybe we can go through these a little bit quickly. Do you want to do Samantha's next?
Yeah, you've kind of sort of answered this, but I'll read it anyway. This is Samantha from 32. With the movie being one of the first to be shot in 3D, what was it like to film this movie knowing that the effects were going to be dimensionally and categorize this movie differently than any others? I believe I read that right.
I think so, yes. Nice job.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like it was really a thrill. It was, it's an honor to get a role like this, and that was just icing on the cake that it was going to be in 3D. I didn't really, know what that would look like, but I guess, in my mind, I would think, cool. You got a pickaxe coming at people. That sounds good, and then, like I said, like as an actor, I just remember being this big machine, green machine was on set, but not doing, as an actor, you didn't do anything different in delivering your lines. They just, they sort of did everything, over in a corner or something. Yeah. So,
okay. Was it sort of like, we'll handle the technology, the 3D technology, don't worry about it, just focus on doing your job kind of thing?
It wasn't, it was not like, look at the machine, Rich. It was not. It was like there was really none
extend
of
your
that.
arm toward the camera. You know how they do like the things fly out at you.
They gave you your marks, and you did what you do what you're told. And I just I knew it was there, but I wasn't really conscious of it after that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we have two more, but Mike from Mike Freeman 77. Thank you for your three questions you sent. Two of them we did already cover, but I am going to ask, in your view, how does Harry fit in with classic horror movie characters such as Freddy Krueger, Mike Myers, and Jason, to name a few.
It it's cool because it's yeah, like for instance, compared to Freddy Krueger, it's cool because he's a minor, because he's based in reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, maybe you could see a minor going off
Could
and
really
just having
happen.
a bad day,
Yeah.
starting to kill people, without without any magic or without a gun, just taking a pickaxe to people. That's sort of I guess a fantasy for some people, maybe.
Oh gosh, maybe. And I wasn't thinking that. And well, it works and it's effective.
Well, I was actually going to say, I'm surprised that there hasn't been any more like sequels or prequels or remakes, because
Yeah.
they seem to be doing it with all these other icons. I mean, there's I believe there's a series of Friday the 13th coming out. They've already remade that. They've done Halloween, and I actually think Harry Warden would have been a cool to revisit that character
Ooh.
again.
A trilogy, right? Yeah.
Even just a really cool,
just a new one. Yeah.
have a dark series, that would have been cool. But,
yeah, I was thinking like maybe they can make a prequel, like where Harry Warden came from. Make him come from Canada and be a psycho and kill some people up there, and then he moves to Pittsburgh and
Yeah, I
gets a
like
job
it.
mining or something. I don't know.
I like it. Could be set like in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
That would be cool. That would be cool.
something like that.
Okay, one last question. Ben, I think this is yours.
Yeah,
We will
Mike
wrap up.
from Filmatokadrick. Thank you, Mike. As an actor making a remake of a classic horror icon like Harry Warden, did you feel a lot of pressure, or was it like, I'm going to do my own thing, sort of? So, did you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. You want to everything out here as an actor doesn't exist. You're just one-on-one with the other actor, or you're in here with what you're doing, and you're just conscious of your direction, I guess. Like, if they tell you where to step and stuff like that, obviously you have to have a consciousness where to make you hit the marks. I was actually used to have this guy from Canada named Stephen Black, who took method acting from Sandy Meisner, I think his name is, at the I forget that acting school in New York City, but it is method acting, and so it's about being dead and a psychopath. Like, that's just I probably shouldn't be able to relate to something like that, but maybe it's the angry, or when you're super angry and you have to hide it. Like, maybe that's the inspiration. Maybe that's where it comes from.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's see. Those are all the viewer questions. Thank you so much for chatting with us today.
Thank you, everyone, for questions.
Yes, and thank you.
It was great, man.
Exactly. A couple final questions. What are you working on now? And do you have any conventions coming up? And I guess, how can people find you on social media? So 3 questions there.
Yeah. Truthfully, I'm not, I don't have any acting gigs right now. I've been playing guitar, and I'm trying to work on that, and trying to just do some open mics and
cool.
perform. I'd like to work on that, but obviously I'd still like to do some acting. I've got to get my act together with regard to auditioning and putting damn videos together. I'm sorry, what were the other questions? I'm sorry.
Will you be at any upcoming conventions?
Yeah, there's one in Allentown coming up on Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's at the Marriott there, and then that's on February 17th,
Okay.
and then on February 10th, I'm going to Houston again. For they call them pop-ups or something like that, HorrorCon pop-ups. I think that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
And yeah, Midnight Entertainment. That's my guy, Tony
Cool.
Rodriguez.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
watching and you're in Pennsylvania or Texas, head out to meet Richard at these conventions. And like I said, I hope you come to Massachusetts. We've got some coming up. I think not until September. Silver Scream, and I forget what the other one is called. But maybe you can get those on your list. And my last question, yes, awesome. My last question was social media. How can folks watching find you on social media?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I really, I'm such a grandpa. I mean, I still do Facebook. RJW Esquire, RJWESQUIRE, and it's the same thing for Instagram and YouTube, and then what else? IMBD is still on there, and
Awesome. So
yeah,
easily
really,
found. Yep, and we found
yeah,
you
yeah.
on Instagram, and that's how this all happened.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And speaking of technology, we just learned that you can do hand gestures on Zoom, and things happen. Like, look, this is appropriate. See if it'll work. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Did you see? Yeah. And oh wait, this is fun. Thumbs down. Watch, it'll storm. I don't know if it'll work on the phone, so I'm on the MacBook. And we got to figure out how to get it to turn on for Ben's. But I almost forgot to do the heart one in this
Oh,
video.
wow. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
So, big thank you for talking with us, Richard. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Brilliant guest. And it's closing, isn't it? Grove
Yes,
2
yes.
on Instagram, go to A&B Horror Movies, follow us over there. And if you come across this video, hit the like and subscribe because it helps us. And thank you for watching. And again, big thanks to Richard.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye, everyone.
All right. See you now.